Well, the big release of the week really is Miss Juneteenth, which is the directorial feature debut from Channing Godfrey Peoples. It was a hit at Sundance South by Southwest. Set in Fort Worth in Texas. Nicole Beharie is Turquoise, who is this former winner of the Miss Juneteenth pageant, and now desperately wants her teenage daughter to compete and to win the competition, which will come. One of the prizes is a scholarship to a college, to any historically black institution. And Juneteenth, of course, is commemoration of an end of slavery in 1865. Although, as we're told very specifically, 2 years after the Emancipation Proclamation. So one of the things that the film is about deferred emancipation, deferred freedom. And it's clear, although it beautifully, the film never spells out exactly what's happened. It's clear that Turk, as her friends call her, had her own plans interrupted, that life changed in ways that she didn't expect. And the film never kind of is very clear exactly what happened, but you can figure it out, which I like. It's that kind of show don't tell thing. But she thinks that winning Miss Juneteenth is essential for Kai, but her daughter is actually more interested in joining the dance team. Here's a clip.
Remember you took me to State Fair Classic and they did the Battle of the Bands? When them dancing dolls came out. They tore it up. If I gotta go to college, I wanna go somewhere like that. Or I can go to Prairie View like you did.
You worry about the wrong thing.
If I make the dance team, I can get me a scholarship, like you want me to. But them girls did dance in high school, so they got experience.
Ain't no school handing out no full ride for that. I need you focused on your studies. Once you get there and you've been doing okay for a while, maybe.
I thought this was a terrific movie, not least because it does that thing that I personally like so much, is a film that blends the personal and the political without seeming for that to be strained at all. The Juneteenth pageant competitors are told, about the history of the pageant, but through battles that Turkey is still fighting against inequality, as a single working mom, against wealth discrimination and gender discrimination, all those kind of things. So the battles are still going on. So what we have is both the history and present, the personal and the political. But what's really great about the film is that when you watch it, that's not what it seems like. What it seems like is a film about the bond between mothers and daughters. And in fact, we see our central character's own mother and the complicated relationship that she has with her. She's kind of intoxicated by spirits, both holy and indeed alcoholic. And there is this desire to pass on the things that you believed in but maybe didn't have onto the next generation. And I think the film is absolutely beautiful the way that it does that. I mean, one of the things that it manages to do is it's a film made from warmth and love and hope. And although it's depicting sometimes difficult situations, it's doing so in a way that's so positive and so hopeful and so personal that it's a kind of, I hate to use this phrase, but it's a kind of heart swelling movie. It's one of those movies in which you really feel that you know the characters, you really feel that you know the place, you really feel that you understand the situations. One of the great things about cinema, I know I say this all the time, one of the great things about cinema is it can put you in a place of a character that has very very little in common with you, and you can understand and empathize with their situation because of the miracle of cinema. I think this film does that. I really enjoyed it. I watched it a couple of times in a couple of days actually, because I liked it so much. It's called Miss Juneteenth, and it's available in cinemas. It's also on VOD platforms, and it's I think it's not surprising that it's done as well as it had. People are already talking about it being an awards contender, and I certainly hope that it is.
Is it a movie where the political message kind of sneaks up on you, and then maybe when you think about it the next day, it feels more political than it was at the time.
That is a perfect description of how I found it. I mean, despite the fact that obviously, the whole thing about Juneteenth is that there is a political thing around that, obviously, because it's to do with slavery and the end of slavery and emancipation and delayed emancipation. But if the film never feels like that's what its central subject is, what it feels like its central subject is a sense of place and a sense of relationships between mother and daughter. And I think it does that absolutely beautifully. Incidentally, you know, I've just become an empty nester, so I am particularly susceptible to any films about parent-children bonds, as I'm sure a number of people listening at this
Right.
particular time of year will understand.